Hello everyone. A very good morning to all of you. Now,
Good morning, sir.
yeah, thank you. I need this kind of enthusiasm and energy. So now we'll be starting a different topic today. Okay. So this topic is known as principle of virtual world. Okay. So can you see the screen? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see
Okay.
introduction.
Yeah. So let us start. So it has been observed that when a force acts on a body, what happens? The body undergoes some displacement and some work is said to be done. That means what? Mathematically, if some work is done on a body, then work done is known as what? Force into perpendicular displacement, right? Now, if the force is inclined at a particular angle theta, then we are getting what? It is in cos theta, and s is what? The distance. So in this way, we just describe work done. That means what? Look at this man. Can you see the figure? Now, if you can see here, what happens is that this man is pulling the bus. Yes. So if this bus is pulled, that means it moves by certain amount of distance. Then work is said to be what? Done. Hmm. Now just look at these points now. If the value of theta is between what? 0 and 90 degree. That means if the theta angle is between 0 and 90 degree, you all can hear me now?
Sir.
Ah. So if the theta angle means what? If you are pulling something, suppose, now we are pulling with a rope or something like that. Now if that angle is between 0 and 90 degree, then you say some some work is said to be done. Now if the value is 90 degree, then no work is done. Why? Because cos 90 is 0. Hmm. Now if the value is between 90 and 180, the body will move as opposite direction. So what does a I just told you right now, no? Like if the body is moving, suppose, if the body is moving, suppose, and then we say what? The work is said to be done. Okay. But if the body is not moving, then the distance or displacement is what? 0. That means what? It undergoes very little displacement. Now, if we assume that the body is equilibrium and it undergoes very small displacement, that means it is very infinite. That displacement is partial displacement, and that work is called partial work. Okay, that means what? In virtual work, in work done, what happens? Actually, the body moves, but in virtual work, the body is said to move a little bit, like an infinite small displacement is there. So this is known as virtual work. The most important thing is this: the statement. What is this statement? It states that if a system of force is acting on a body or system of body to be in equilibrium and the system is imagined to undergo very small displacement, then the algebraic sum of all the virtual work done by the forces of the system is zero. That is the proof. And that is the statement. You have to remember this statement exactly. Okay, this is the principle actually. Principle of virtual work. Hmm.
Sir,
Hmm.
if work is done very small, then how can it be a zero?
It is not zero. Means which one is zero? You are telling
Most
that
of the system is
this is the expression for the this one principle. Hmm.
yes, sir.
Like this is just the what do you call it? This is just the statement. Huh? You can say it. Okay. So you have to remember this statement. Now we'll see from this. Now if you consider a particle is in equilibrium, if you see the figure, the particle is in equilibrium. Now any small displacement which is dr and away from the natural equilibrium position and is consistent with the geometric configuration of system. It is called what? Partial displacement. That means what? A very small displacement dr. That means this is the dr. Huh? So a very small displacement is given because of this force. Hmm. Now this is known as what? Partial displacement. The displacement is what? It is very small. That is why we call it as virtual. Hmm. Now, if any force F act on a particle and a virtual displacement of dr is assumed to be given on the particle, then the virtual work, that the work done by F is what? Du equal to F dot dr. Why dr? Because force into displacement is what work done. Now we say that dr is what? Very small displacement that is given. So work done is what? Virtual work done is what? F dr into cos alpha. This is the main formula. Okay. Now the virtual work that is done by external force on an ideal mechanical system will be equal to what? Zero. Remember this thing. Mathematically, du is equal to what? Zero. But we are finding out in this manner. F into dr into cos alpha.
Sir,
Ah,
you are saying that a, little distance
mm,
taken by the object is known as virtual.
ah.
Then how can it be a zero?
Mathematically, it is zero. Just remember the terms. You have to use those terms. ना mathematically. मैथमेटिकली ये जीरो
And
होगा.
practically,
प्रैक्टिकली थोड़ा डिस्प्लेसमेंट रहेगा लेकिन वो डिस्प्लेसमेंट हम लोग ऐसे आंख में नहीं देख सकते.
neglect कर
हाँ,
देगा.
समझा. लेकिन वो वर्चुअल का
Okay, okay.
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है. ओके. So what we'll discuss now is the, rather than the proof, this diagram is very important, हाँ, and these expressions. Okay, ठीक है. इसका प्रूफ से भी ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कैसा वर्क डन होता है और वो एक्सप्रेशन क्या होता है. दैट मीन्स व्हाट इज द एक्सप्रेशन.
हेलो सर.
बोलो रिमो.
सर ये प्रिंसिपल को सर और एक बार एक्सप्लेन कर दो ना.
प्रिंसिपल को एक्सप्लेन करना है.
हाँ सर और एक बार.
देखो हाँ, कॉन्सेंट्रेट करो. अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ वर्चुअल वर्क इट स्टेट्स व्हाट a system of forces, if a system of forces is acting on a body or a system of body and it is in equilibrium and the system is imagine to undergo a small displacement, then the algebraic sum of all the virtual works done by all the forces is zero. That means what? Suppose यहाँ पे क्या है, दिख रहा है तुमको ये दिख रहा है, एक डायग्राम दिख रहा है, ये वाला दिख रहा है तुमको?
दिख रहा है।
तो इस पे क्या है देखो, एक फोर्स है एफ, है कि नहीं? दूसरा फोर्स है क्या है, एफ कॉस अल्फा, द अदर फोर्स इज व्हाट, एफ कॉस अल्फा. नाउ दिस इज एक्टिंग एट दिस पॉइंट. हाँ, ये पॉइंट पे एक्ट कर रहा है. अभी इसके कारण क्या होगा, इट विल अंडरगो ए वेरी स्मॉल अमाउंट ऑफ डिस्प्लेसमेंट डी आर. तो दिस स्मॉल डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज नोन एज द वर्चुअल डिस्प्लेसमेंट. बट इवेंचुअली व्हाट, ये जो टोटल वर्क डन है दोनों फोर्स का, एफ और एफ कॉस का, दोनों का क्या होगा, टोटल वर्क डन होगा जीरो. समझा? लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत क्या है, डिस्प्लेसमेंट आ रहा है इस पर. दैट इज ओनली नोन एज द वर्चुअल वर्क सिस्टम. अभी समझा?
समझिए सर.
Before solving the numerical, what you will do is we will just see some applications. If you see application of principle of virtual work on beams that is carrying a point load. We discussed this structures, na? Point load and all, right? So now here this W is what? This W is a point load. Okay. Now if this W is a point load, then this W load is acting on this beam. Right. If this W load is acting on the beam, then how to solve it? Because of this W load, what happens? अभी ये बीम पे क्या हो रहा है, तुम लोग का घर पे अगर देखोगे तो बीम वगैरह में जब लोड एक्ट करता है तो उसमें क्या होता है, एक स्मॉल अमाउंट ऑफ डिस्प्लेसमेंट आता है. ठीक है, बहुत छोटा डिस्प्लेसमेंट आता है. तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट डिस्प्लेसमेंट देयर विल बी व्हाट, वर्चुअल वर्क. नाउ अभी हम लोग इसको कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे? यू नो हाउ टू फाइंड आउट द रिएक्शंस एट ए एंड बी, आर ए एंड आर बी, by moments. I taught you in the few classes before. Yeah. I'll just tell you now again how to find out the reactions. That is what, this one, A and B. So RA and RB can be found out like this. Look, suppose you are taking this as RA, you are telling this as RB. Now RA into what, L minus W into B equal to what, RB. This is what the reaction equation is. तो अभी हम लोग क्या करेंगे, हाउ टू फाइंड आउट द वर्चुअल वर्क. नाउ
Sir, again.
अगेन कौन सा, रिएक्शन वाला?
RA. हाँ.
अच्छा,
A, how to find out A and B?
देखो ये ए एंड बी क्या है, दो अपोजिट रिएक्शंस है इस फोर्स का, है कि नहीं? तो इक्विलिब्रियम के हिसाब से क्या होता है, ए एक रिएक्शन दे रहा है आर ए, हाँ, और बी एक रिएक्शन दे रहा है क्या, आर बी, है कि नहीं? है कि नहीं? के बाद क्या होगा अभी, व्हाट विल हैपन, आर ए, so we all know. Someone please mute your mic. Noise is coming, huh? I don't know who's. So what happens? RA and RB. So what is RA and RB? Now if this W is given here in this direction, then RA is the reaction at A, RB is the reaction at B. Now how to find out these two? Remember always this equation, RA into what? Moment. That means force into perpendicular distance. That means if you find out moment about B, so RA into what? L equal to what? अभी ये फोर्स को बैलेंस करेगा ये इक्वल टू W into B. Why B? Because देखो अभी हम लोग मोमेंट अबाउट B ले रहे हैं. That means what? This one into here, this one into this distance, हाँ, equal to what? इसका उल्टा होगा. That means what? ये W आ रहा है, तो ये W, this W into B. So you can find out that way. You will, if you know L, W and B, you will able to find out RA. अभी RB कैसे निकालेगा? वो नॉर्मल रूल पे मैं बोल रहा हूँ. हाँ, RA वर्चुअल का सिस्टम थोड़ा अलग होगा. RA प्लस RB gives you what? W. नॉर्मल रूल में ये होगा. You have to find out in this manner. Now, in case of virtual work thing, what you will do? You have to consider two similar triangles ABD and ACE. That means triangle A, the bigger one, A, B and D, and A, C and E. If you consider these two triangles, then what happens? X by Y. Remember this, this is a ratio, huh? X by Y equal to what? A by L. Why A? This is A. That means AC. AC is A and AB is what? L. So you have to put it in this equation. Then you will find out what? X equal to AY by L. Now the total virtual work that is done by the two reactions RA and RB is what? RA into 0 plus RB into Y. Why? In virtual work thing you have to do it what? RA. In case of RA what happens? There is no displacement, na? But in case of RB what happens? There is a displacement Y. That is why you are finding it out this one. That is why you are finding out this one. That means what? RB is into Y. Now this plus sign is used for giving reactions in upward direction. And the virtual work that is done by the point load is W into X. Why W into X? Because the W is giving, in this W point is giving a X displacement, na? So that is why it is W into X. Now since RA into Y we have taken it as positive, RB into Y, sorry, RB into Y we have taken it as positive. That is why W into X will be what? Negative. Because look at the directions. If you look at the directions, it is opposite direction. But eventually we can find out what? Any problem, Lokkhajoti? Lokkhajoti, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
You understanding now what I'm saying? So now this is the virtual work that is done at by the point load. Now according to the principle of virtual work, what happens? The algebraic sum of the virtual works done is 0. That means what? This RB, that means what? This RB into Y minus what? W into X is what? 0. Because we computed for these two only. Why no RA? Because in RA, if you see, there is no displacement in the triangle. So we can find out RB in this manner. Now, if RB, we can find out like this, W into X by Y. Now, X by Y means what? A by L, yes or no? Or X equal to what? AY by L. You can just write like this, na? X by Y. In place of X by Y, here, you can just write A by L. So this is for RB. Now, for RA, it will be the opposite one because the displacement is what? B now. So we just replace B, A by B and we'll get RA. Okay. So this is how you'll have to find out. Now, can you find out this sum? Can you solve this sum by using the above formulas, RA and RB? Can you try it out or not, students? कौन सा क्लियर नहीं है टेमाजर बोलो कौन सा पार्ट क्लियर नहीं है टेमाजर एक बार बोलो तो which one you just unmute yourself and speak
The beginning, sir.
पहले से समझ में नहीं आया ये न्यूमेरिकल ये वाला अपन
नहीं सर, मता नहीं घुसा,
अच्छा ठीक है कोई
मता
बात
का
नहीं
ऊपर से चला गया.
ऊपर चला गया कोई बात नहीं सिंपल है इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड मत सोचो एक बार देखो just look at it what happens we are drawing a simple triangle हाँ now we are drawing a simple triangle this one uh, we are drawing a simple triangle from this one here A from this point to this and this now what happens look for doing this solving this numerical you have to just simply draw a triangle in the principle of virtual work method not other method if it is mentioned the virtual work method so in this method what you will have to do is suppose a beam is given A and B okay then you have to consider this as 0 now it will increase keep on increasing so at the end just assume that the displacement is what y that means what in the between you can say that the displacement is x a similar triangle we are using the concept of similar triangle that you learned in class 8 9 something like that so in similar triangles what happens this one is x na this x and this one is what y that means for this triangle a c and e in this triangle ec is equal to what x that means what x by what y x by y हाँ तो ये x हो गया और ये y हो गया अभी हम लोग क्या किया इस ट्राइंगल के हिसाब से हम लोग यहाँ पे लिखेगा तो x इज फॉर द स्मॉल ट्राइंगल ना a a e and c so if x is for the small triangle then what happens equal to what we can write? So in x, that means ये इसका वर्टिकल वाला डायमेंशन है, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग x की जगह क्या लिख सकते हैं? We can write it as AC. AC means what? AC means A. Yes or no? And then Y. For Y, what we can write? For this triangle A, B, and D. So what we can write? In this case here it will be what? L. So we can write like this: A by Y, x by Y equal to A by L. So that is what we are writing it here. Now we can write, if you write here x by Y A by L, then we can just write like this: x equal to what? AY by L. यहाँ तक समझ में आया देमदार?
sir.
हाँ, उसके next what we will do? The Virtual work done by two reactions RA and RB. So in the two reactions RA and RB, if you see the triangle, it is somewhat like this, no? It is somewhat like. So what happens? It is done by like this. So if it is done by like this, then what happens? This here it is what? RA, and here it is RB. So the virtual work that is done by RA and RB. Now in RA, what is? There is no displacement. Yes or no? So work done means what? Force into displacement. Now RA is the force. So RA is here. But the displacement is what? It is zero ना, क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो displacement कुछ नहीं है, यहाँ पे तो displacement कुछ नहीं है. Now in RB what happens? There is displacement of how much? It is y ना. After you compute it, you will find it out. It is y. So that means what? This can be written as RB into y. Got it? That means RA into 0 plus RB into y. So RA into 0.
It
बोलो
hello.
बोलो.
It should be 0 क्योंकि
कौन सा?
ये सर वर्चुअल आप बोल रहे हैं ना, वर्चुअल बोल रहे हैं तो
अरे
y
अरे
जो क्यों
partial
y ले रहा है, वो 0 क्यों नहीं हुआ है?
स्लाइड डिस्प्लेसमेंट नहीं होगा क्या? स्लाइड
वही
डिस्प्लेसमेंट
तो
नहीं
वो
होगा
स्लाइड
क्या?
डिस्प्लेसमेंट.
टोटल वर्क
Yes sir,
इज
you
जीरो.
said that
वर्चुअल
slight
वर्क में
displacement.
टोटल वर्क डन इज जीरो है. द डिस्प्लेसमेंट जीरो नहीं
Okay,
होगा.
okay, okay.
डेफिनेशन, हाँ डेफिनेशन पे तो वही है कि नहीं? टोटल वर्क डन जीरो होगा.
Okay, okay.
लेकिन डिस्प्लेसमेंट रहेगा थोड़ा. समझ रहे हो तुम अभी? मतलब
Yeah.
अभी समझा?
हाँ हाँ
थोड़ा दिमाग में घुसा?
समझ
हाँ थोड़ा घुसेगा.
थोड़ा थोड़ा
हाँ इंटरेस्टिंग है. देखो इंटरेस्टिंग है ये चीज, एक बार कॉन्सेंट्रेट करो. देखो it will be what? It will be y ना. This thing will be y. So that is why we can write it as what? RB into y. Now since it is plus, y plus, because upward, if reaction is acting upwards, then it is what? Plus. Now there is one load acting here. Now in that load, because of that load W, if you see, recall the figure, if you recall the figure, because of that load W, there is a displacement of what? X displacement हो रहा है कि नहीं यहाँ पे? तो लोड W के लिए अगर X डिस्प्लेसमेंट हो रहा है तो क्या होगा? We can write it as like this: minus W into X, because minus is why? Due to the load is acting what? Downwards. Got it now? Why we put it as upward and why put it as downward? So now,
Yes sir.
according to the principle of virtual work, अभी principle of virtual work आएगा. The algebraic sum of all the virtual works done is what? 0. We have two work done, yes or no? For RB1, RB into Y plus RB into Y, and for the this part, for this thing we have what? W. That means what? W into X. Now since W is negative, so we can write it as like this, na? RB into Y minus माइनस क्यों? क्योंकि w इंटू एक्स तो w तो माइनस है यहाँ पे, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस w इंटू एक्स इज इक्वल टू व्हाट? 0. नाउ वी कैन फाइंड आउट rb फ्रॉम दिस इज द फॉर्मूला w a by l. नाउ गॉट इट? अभी समझ में आया?
सर यस
ये मजाक समझ में आया?
सर, ये और तो ये सर
हाँ
हाँ हाँ समझ में आया। ये सर एक्स वाई वाई इज इक्वल टू ए वाई एल को सर थोड़ा बताओ। एल एल
अरे एल तो
एल
ये
जो
होगा
कैसे
ना,
होगा?
एल तो बड़ा वाला लेंथ होगा ना।
हाँ हाँ
ये बड़ा वाला ट्रायंगल जब कंसीडर करेगा, छोटा वाला नहीं, ये बड़ा वाला, पूरा बड़ा वाला, तो इसका लेंथ एल
हाँ
होगा
हाँ
ना, है कि नहीं?
हाँ
तो
हाँ
इसलिए
हाँ
एल पकड़ा हम लोग। तो यहाँ पे छोटा वाला डिस्टेंस है ए, लेकिन बड़ा वाला डिस्टेंस तो एल है, तो इसलिए एल पकड़ा। समझ रहा है?
एक्स एल।
समझा है?
हाँ 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 ठीक है
एक
सर।
बार सोचो तो समझ आ जाएगा, इतना कठिन नहीं है, दिस इज नॉट दैट डिफिकल्ट।
ओके ओके सर ठीक है।
हाँ एक बार सोच के देखना। नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस?
प्लस माइनस साइन में
हाँ हाँ हाँ
प्लस माइनस साइन में ना
हाँ,
सर, इफ object is going down then how why we should take
दिस
up
इज द कन्वेंशन।
upward direction?
इफ यू टेक द अदर थिंग दैट विल आल्सो डू, बट फॉर योर कन्वीनियंस आई एम मेकिंग इट इन दिस मैनर। अगर नीचे से
ओके
ऊपर जाएगा तो पॉजिटिव ले लेना, ऊपर से नीचे आएगा तो नेगेटिव ले लेना, तुम उल्टा भी ले सकता है, तुम्हारा मर्जी है, लेकिन कंफ्यूज होगा ना एग्जाम में, बस में कंफ्यूजन से गलती हो सकता
हाँ
है,
हाँ हाँ
इसलिए मैं डायरेक्टली बोल ही दिया, नीचे से ऊपर जाएगा तो पॉजिटिव
मैंने
ले लेना।
एक को अलग करके ले लिया ना
हाँ क्योंकि डायरेक्शन
कंफ्यूजने
अलग
वाले
है
को।
ना, क्योंकि
ओके
आर ए आर बी तो नीचे से आ रहा
ओके
है, लेकिन डब्ल्यू कहाँ से आ रहा है? डब्ल्यू ऊपर से आ रहा है। समझा?
ओके ओके ओके
अभी
ठीक है
समझा?
ठीक है।
हाँ, तो इन दिस वे वी
मतलब
do it. Now what happens? We'll find out what? Now we'll find out what? RB and what? RA. So how will you find out RB and RA? So principle of virtual work will come to apply here. The algebraic sum of all the virtual works done is what? 0. This means what? RB into Y. RB into Y we found out recently. That is why it is plus. It should be like this. This will be what? RB into Y plus, this one it will be minus W into X. Okay, this thing will be written like this. तो उसके बाद you can write it like this ना? Yes or no? Yes or no? So if you can write it like this, then you can find out RB. Now if RB is equal to WA by L, now RB and RA are in the opposite direction. Yes or no? And RB is WA by L, then for the distance corresponding to RA क्या होगा? अगर RB के लिए A होगा तो RA के लिए क्या होगा? B होगा। सिंपल है। This is why we are writing it in this manner. Understood now?
सर वो लास्ट वाला आर बी इंटू वाई प्लस माइनस डब्ल्यू इंटू एक्स को डायग्राम में सर बताओ तो कैसे पढ़ते
डायग्राम
हुए
में बताना
हाउ
होगा तो देखो, डायग्राम पे होगा क्या, देखो तो ये वाला देखो, ये आर बी हो गया ना? ये सुनो, दिस आर बी इंटू वाई, दिस इज कमिंग व्हाट? अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन, दैट इज व्हाई वी आर कंसीडरिंग इट एज पॉजिटिव. नाउ दिस वन इज व्हाट? W. This is coming what? Downward direction. And here the displacement is what? X. यहाँ पे अगर y पकड़ेगा तो यहाँ पे तो x पकड़ेगा, लेकिन ये क्या है? ये नीचे आ रहा है, इसलिए माइनस W इंटू वट Now understood? Now understood, Temada? Temada, did you
Sir.
understand? Samjha?
Yes, sir.
What about others? What about others? Can everyone respond? Did they understand? Yes?
सर
Okay.
ऊपर जाने से प्लस होगा, उसके बाद में नीचे जाने से माइनस होगा।
हाँ, ऊपर जाने
जी
से प्लस करेगा और नीचे जाने से माइनस करेगा। Partial work के in the concept of partial work thing. Okay, got it? Got it now?
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
So that means what? We can write RB as what? WA by L. And for RA it will be the other one, that means WB by L. Just remember these things. Huh? How to do it. If you want to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot from here. Tell me once you are done. I shared the book with you, na?
Yes, sir. It's already.
Oh, it's I shared the book, na? So book तो है तो कोई बात नहीं. It will be in page number 345, 344. Huh? This thing, just go through it once. Okay. So do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts regarding this? Now for this numerical, you have to find out the beam reactions RA and RB. I'll give you the hint. Try doing it up. Do not look at the book. Okay? It will be better for you people only. So here everything is fine like the before one. Just let me tell you this 2y by 5. How did this 2y by 5 thing came for EC? This 2y by 5 thing. So if you see this diagram, if you see this whole diagram, it is what? 5 meter, right? So this displacement is what? Just after 2 meter. So that is why 2 by 5 of, that is why it is 2 by 5 times. Now since the whole displacement is y, so that is why this part is what? 2 by 5, 2 5 means 2 by 5 times of y. Just remember this thing. So you have got x and y. You have to find out what? RA and RB. Okay. So and the load that is acting is 2 kilonewton. Can you try it out to find? Next class we will discuss the answers. Can you try to find out yourself, students? Just try it out. We'll discuss in the next class. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If anyone has any doubt, you can ask me. Hello.
Hello.
हाँ बोलो.
Yes. If you want to find LA first, then the step is same for finding LB also.
Yeah. Like the previous one that I explained, you have to find out this for this beam also. Huh? Try finding out for this boom.
Oh,
You want to take a screenshot of the question?
No, sir. It's okay. I
But
already.
don't look at the book, because if you look at the book and find out the answer, then it will be like everything is in the book, na? Just try solving it yourself. Okay, got it?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
And you can just do one thing. You can try for solving it out. Now, if you have more doubts, you can just ask me in the next class also. No problem with that. Hmm?
Thank you, sir.